2026 Legislative Session Review.
I'm Kelli Klink. I'm the Director of Government Relations and Public Policy at the Iowa Cattlemen's Association.
And I'm Jake Swanson with High Yield Strategies, the lobbyist for the Iowa Cattlemen's Association, your voice inside the state capitol.
Our grassroots organization brought us into the 2026 legislative session with a great set of priorities, really focused on land restoration standards, increasing interstate weight limits at the congressional level, as well as very focused on securing funding for foreign animal disease and preparedness. So it really led to an eventful session starting off in January, but we had the opportunity to work on a lot of great bills.
As your lobbyist, as your representative here at the Iowa State Capitol during the 2026 legislative session, we were able to get numerous bills signed into law, passed through the legislature, delivering great wins for Iowa's cattle industry. Kelli, what was your favorite bill that we got done?
Personally, one of my favorites was actually a resolution that started out in the 2025 legislative session that passed out of the House chamber. And then we saw finally cross the finish line over in the Senate this year was a resolution to urge Congress to increase those interstate weight limits. So that signals clear to our United States Congress that there is a significant need to increase those limits and really kind of stop this patchwork system that's currently across the United States.
We also passed a great bill relating to FFA and other school-sponsored activities to make sure school districts across the state of Iowa know that FFA activities, for example, are excused absences. So if you're gone for an FFA-related activity, feel rest assured that those are excused absences now. That was a big bill that we pushed and got across the finish line, and we're hoping to see that signed into law soon.
That was kind of on the piece, really looking forward to our next generation. And along those lines, the next generation really is going to rely heavily on the land like you all do today. So having those land restoration standards in place was another great bill that we had the opportunity to work on, specific to transmission lines, but really lays the framework for what that could look like for future utility projects when it comes to protecting your land that you operate on and ensuring that it's there and successful for the next generation.
Private property rights was a big conversation this legislative session, and Iowa cattlemen were very well represented in that every legislator knows where Iowa cattlemen stand on private property rights. Like Kelli mentioned, passing land restoration standards and hopefully seeing that signed into law soon, producers can be assured that if a transmission line is going to run through their farm, their cattle pasture, that land has to be restored the way that it was found.
Along those lines too, really we're focused on protecting your operations and focused on one in particular was a bill that now sets out that you are protected against frivolous lawsuits pertaining to greenhouse gas emissions. So you don't have to worry about activists bringing forth false claims against your operations pertaining to those greenhouse gas emissions. So we really do thank the legislature for bringing that forward and allowing us the opportunity to have a voice in that.
Yep. Representative Derek Wolf led the charge on that, a great bill, and we were fortunate to see the governor already sign that bill into law. Another big, exciting agriculture-related bill passed this legislative session was the Iowa Farm Act. Our great Secretary of Agriculture, Mike Naig, put this bill forward at the beginning of the legislative session. It touched on multiple different topics to support Iowa's agriculture industry. Several provisions in those bills, in that bill was supported by the Iowa Cattlemen's Association. We saw provisions related to biosecurity and foreign animal disease preparedness. If there's a foreign animal disease outbreak on an operation in Iowa, this assures that those producers' information is kept confidential, ultimately protecting those producers. We also saw another great provision that we were very supportive of, increasing financial incentives for veterinarians who are willing to practice in underrepresented, underserved rural areas. So now, veterinarians who are willing to practice in a underserved area, their student loans are now, any financial incentive that they receive is now exempt from income tax. Very exciting. Hope to see that increase the number of veterinarians practicing in rural areas.
To kind of cap off the session, of course, appropriations bills are always some of the last things to be debated, and we really were happy to see appropriations to go toward supporting the Iowa State University's veterinary diagnostic lab, as well as having that foreign animal disease preparedness and response through the Department of Agriculture. So seeing those dollars goes towards those organizations goes to supporting you as an industry and being able to combat those diseases that could come into your operation.
We also saw the governor, along with our Secretary of Agriculture, Mike Naig, propose significant water quality legislation and funding. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems, I think the numbers I saw have it at over $300 million in funding for water quality practices over the next decade. That was recently announced by the governor. Obviously, we all have a role to play in water quality, cattlemen being at the tip of the spear. We were excited to see that announced as well.
We know that cattlemen can really be a part of the conservation efforts, and so it's really exciting to see these dollars be going toward supporting your operations for the longevity of our industry, while also very focused on protecting it for that next generation.
We had a great legislative session this year. As you heard, laundry list of wins for Iowa's cattle producers. We look forward to working with the governor's office to make sure that we get these bills signed into law. We've already seen the governor sign a few of these, and we're excited to be part of that process moving forward and making sure that these bills get implemented properly, making sure that we're adding value to your operation, passing good bills, and getting them signed and across the finish line. Now, we also got to play defense this legislative session. We had a couple of bills that we did weigh in on that we advocated against. So in addition to passing good legislation, we also spend a good amount of time trying to stop legislation that we view would be negative for the Iowa cattle industry. We spent every day of this legislative session fighting for you, for your operations, and making sure that we're adding value to Iowa's cattle industry. We had a marathon session, a marathon ending to it, and we are glad it's over. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean our work stops. We will spend the next several months until the 2027 legislative session working with legislators, policymakers across state and federal government, making sure that they know what issues are important to Iowa cattle producers. And gearing up for the 2027 legislative session, the work never stops. We look forward to representing you again next legislative session.
And some of the next steps as Iowa Cattlemen's members is we're now going through our policy development process. And so this is where you all, we encourage you to continue to reach out to us as we spend time around the state, sharing what your issues are, what your concerns are. And that is how our policy, how our priorities get set. Moving forward, we go into our policy summit where those policies are debated and eventually go into our policy book to be our guardrails about how we engage here at the state capitol. So we look forward to carrying out the rest of the year, engaging on your behalf with your voices, all 7,000 plus members of you across the state of Iowa.
We can't do it without you. You determine what we advocate for or against at the state capitol. We certainly want you to stay engaged. As we look forward to next year's Iowa legislative session, we need to hear from you. We need to know if there are issues, if there are regulations that are not working or making it more difficult to do your job in raising that high quality beef that we are known for in the state of Iowa. If there are things that need to be changed, things that aren't working within state or federal government, we need to know about it so that we can effectively advocate for you during next year's next year's General Assembly and with the United States Congress. We've got a very important election coming up on June 2nd. That is primary day. Make sure to mark your calendars now. We've also got a very important election coming up November 3rd. That is the general election. We've got every candidate on the ballot, from the governor to the Secretary of Agriculture, every statewide elected official, every member of the Iowa House, half of the Iowa Senate, all on the ballot. We want to make sure that we are sending good lawmakers to the state capitol that we can work with to continue advocating for our industry. We want to make sure that we're sending good legislators to the capitol. So mark your calendars. June 2nd is primary day. November 3rd is the general election. We look forward to working with candidates in the interim to to make sure that they know what issues are important to Iowa's cattle industry.
We would encourage all of our members to get out in the countryside, meet with the candidates, meet with the current legislators, statewide elected officials, to understand where you're coming from as a producer on your own operations, and to hear and share about your issues with all of those individuals.
Advocacy starts at the farm and continues at the state capitol building. We encourage you to get involved, be engaged with your policymakers, and we look forward to working with everybody that you send to the Capitol starting in January for the 2027 Iowa legislative session.